busy with life, but I am so happy that you are here. Welcome to my summer sociology class. This is 220. We weren't offering 220 until just last semester online. So the environmental soc class, my name is Jason Downing. I've been teaching this class for, I don't know, like 10 years. One of the reasons they have me teach it is because I have a 4-acre farm. I grow a ton of food. Establishing our biodiversity out here and letting the farm work with itself. We've been out here for 6 years is like, I love that. Looking at how biodiversity works together, optimal conditions. Obviously, if we're here in Colorado and you're here in Colorado, if you've experienced climate change, right? Floods and fires, and I have a 4-acre farm. We haven't planted anything because I watch out for that. But this weekend, right? After being 80 degrees, we are talking about not a frost, but a hard freeze. If you have plants outside, if you can bring them in, bring them in. If you have paid for them already and planted them and started that process, because it's going to be wicked cold this weekend. All right. So yeah, my name is Jason. I live on a 4-acre farm here in LaPorte, just outside of Fort Collins. I have 2 teenagers, Storm and Zion, 14 and 16 years old. My partner, Julie, is an artist and also helps run the farm and all that stuff. We do concerts here and all sorts of stuff, food, you name it, starter plants, eggs. We have 100 chickens. And so, yeah, this semester we are going to talk about our natural world. And I guess the way I really want to kick this off is not only by welcoming you, but just by saying, if climate change is a belief for you, then this is not going to be a good fit. Okay, I always let people know that early on in the semester. Like, we're going to talk about climate science. We're going to talk about the realities of it. 97 to 98% of all global scientists are in agreement. If we're not in agreement about climate change, it's a politicized or it's media types of things like that. So I always find that, like, if people are really strongly, that's like a belief of theirs, I know it's going to be a stressful semester. Like, because we're not just going to talk about beliefs. That being said, we will talk about what humans believe and how that impacts our environment, right? Because if people pay billions of dollars for other people to be climate skeptics, even though the climate skepticism stuff that they're putting out there is wrong and false, the impacts of climate skepticism are still real. People failing to act, whatever that might be, right? So we're going to talk about as much of that as we can this semester. And I'm just kind of going to run down the class really quickly for you. Our textbook is required, and you can find it out there, a used copy or through the bookstore, maybe even an online copy. It's a smaller book, but I love it. And actually, our dean, who used to be the chair of our sociology department, dean of the social behavioral sciences, Michael Carolyn, wrote the textbook. So if you are going to CSU, the guy who wrote the text is there as a resource for you. He travels the world. He knows an infinite amount about food and agriculture and water, and he's just a brilliant human being. So that person could also be a resource for you. So that's one of the reasons I chose the textbook. It's a great textbook, and the author's right here on campus. How cool is that? Because this college piece is all about making contacts through your 4 years, right? Okay. So are you saying we're going to walk through climate science and see what's behind? Well, I'm just saying we're going to look at climate change and climate science. We're going to look at it from many different perspectives. But human behavior is the biggest part, right? Like, if you make a law that says that companies can give as much, right, donations to people in our government as possible, Citizens United, to get them to vote certain ways. Why are we failing to act on issues of climate change? Well, that could be a reason, so yeah, we're going to look at all of those different things. And also, what's your relationship with your natural world? It's one of the first questions I ask when you look at some of the lectures or when you look at the slides, because maybe some of you went camping, maybe some of you helped your parents do gardens, maybe some of you grew up in a city and you don't have a strong connection to your natural world, or you moved out to Colorado to go to school here so that you could shred some gnarly pow, bro. Whatever that might be, we're going to look at that because that's a sociology thing. And then we don't just look at it, we say, what can we do about it? We don't want to know that we've got a dead zone in the ocean and just be like, oh, that's interesting now that we've collected the data. How can we help make things better? And I want us to be innovative this semester. I want us to focus on solutions this semester. And I want us to be positive. And to do that, we're going to need to be culturally pluralistic. So cultural pluralism is the most important thing you can learn this semester. And that is seeing things from someone else's perspective. Okay. Doesn't mean you're like understand it or have to abide by it. But the more diverse perspectives we can see things from, the better we will be, the more complete as human beings. And a river, our natural world and our humans world function better with more diversity. You start pulling things out of a river, the chain, right? That's important. It won't function as well. We start, not taking into account diverse people and those perspective and cultural perspective, we're missing out. We will not be as complete and understand things as completely or have as big of a perspective as we could. So I often find, though, because this is social, not calculus, we are going to be talking about challenging topics. So I want everybody here to understand. Am I recording? Yeah, it looks like I'm recording. Yep. I want everybody here to understand that this is social, and these aren't my opinions or your opinions. We're going to look at a multitude of opinions based on a multitude of different sociological paradigms, which are like, if you've got glasses, better one, better two, better one, better two, better one, better two. They do that 10 times and you're like, now you're just messing with me, right? But we're going to see things through different perspectives, which I think is going to be amazing. And I want your insight, okay? If this is calculus, maybe your opinion or experience doesn't matter, but because it's sociology, if you're writing some of these content essays, it does matter. So first thing, there's a social observation due, and let me look up here. I want to screen share. I'm going to do that with this Chrome tab. I'm going to do it here.
Sarah, I think you're muted.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's got the mute. It's got the X button on. Sorry about all that. Anyway, so discussions. I want us to discuss things that'll really help. So here's your social observation due May 24th. I want you to go out into the world and just observe people for 20 minutes and then write what you observe. Go out into a natural area. Go outside where people are interacting with nature somehow and just kind of do some people watching. Just check out what people are doing and write about it. Because people watching is something that like everybody does and a lot of people like to do. But what we do is then give you the tools in sociology to understand what we're seeing. So if I guess I could go to student view here and you see all these different discussions. Here's our first one, food in Fort Collins, find it. It's due by June 1st and your first post is due by May 26th. So here's what I mean by that. If you have something that's a discussion and it's due, like I said, on June 2nd, you have to post your thoughts on it at least a week ahead of time. If you don't do that, then everybody posts on the last day and it's not really discussion. It's just us regurgitating stuff out. So you're going to have to come back here and let's say a week or 8 days before the discussion, you watch the video, you see the topic, you write a detailed discussion post about it. And then you have to respond at least 2 other times to people. So at least 3 posts on at least 3 different days. If you post 2 of those posts on the last day, you'll only get counted for 1 of them. But usually these are so interesting that I think that you will be able to, check in often and make many more posts than that. Now, this is also the place where I see people losing the most points during the semester because they don't check back in. They don't make that post a week ahead of time. They do it all at the last second or they kind of blow it off. These are worth points. They're important points. And they matter. All right, now we have content assignments. Our chapter content assignments are essay assignments, and you have to use in-text citations for every single question. Maybe a paragraph, a half a page for each question, okay? Sounds like a lot, but you're getting 10 points for it now, and we're processing it. Again, I'm not into regurgitating information. like learn the information and then regurgitate it, and then it's gone, flying free over the Rocky Mountains, and it's out of your head. I want us to rehearse the information correctly the first time. You research it, you get to the textbook, you write it down, you write your essays. That's the second time. And then the test comes up, and then these same questions are there again, and they're worth 25 points. So you just add to them. So writing detailed essays during the course of the semester on time means that you will then be prepared for the tests, and those are going to be much easier for you. Also, cultivating your writing skills is really, really, really important. You don't want to leave college without being able to express yourself well in the written word. It's like such a huge component of it. So every question has to have a in-text book citation. If you go outside of that, that's fine. If you talk about your own experiences, that's fine. Like, that's how we're going to get a good discussion going. And again, I'm not just being intellectual with you and it's just, coming that one direction. It's like reciprocal. I say an idea, you say an idea, we build on that, and suddenly we've got a really good discussion going about water, right? Or about whatever that might be, population. So keep up. Summer moves fast. If it's only 3 months, that means that's 25% less time than normal. So the number of people that either drop or fail in a summer class, it's pretty high because everybody has different things going on. We have not as much time. The deadlines come up really quick. Okay. Here's the thing about deadlines. On the in announcements, I have the college game, a few words on winning. Be respectful. Don't email people at the last second. Ask, don't tell. And the other thing is dates. Because of COVID, it's like due dates went all over the place. And for a while, that's really important. Like, if you get sick, if you get quarantined, if you get tested, whatever happens, like life happens during the course of a semester. The biggest thing you can do to succeed in this class is stay in touch with me. Okay. Don't disappear. Just reach out to me and say, I had a hard time, whatever that might be. But these dates have to stay firm because the last couple years of due dates has been all over the place. So for you to succeed, these dates are real. They're kind of set in internet stone. And I want you to approach them as if, and there is a start to the semester and an end. And sometimes people get a hold of me the last week of the semester and they're like, hey, can I do this and make up this work and stuff? And I want to be, my guiding principle is compassion, but that only goes so far when other people are trying to keep up and working hard themselves. And so that's really important. This moves fast. I don't want you to fail at this. I want you to do well. So reach out to me if you're having any troubles, you need any help. Okay. All right. There's a big food paper, and it is on food waste, I believe, because we waste around half of our food. So what are we doing with it? What does that mean for us? Are we food insecure? How's population related to that? There's so many things about that. That's not till July, but that will happen faster than you think. So read over the paper assignments, read over the content assignments, look at the syllabus, decide if this class is for you. Okay. I'm not trying to chase people away, but it moves fast. Check out the assignments, see if this is a good fit for you. This is like a financial decision, and it's a good fit decision. It's not like this fits into your schedule. There's a lot of things that I think you need to consider for a summer class or any class if you want to succeed. Okay. All right. So there's the big paper, there's the content writing assignments, there's the discussions. If you click on the syllabus, I don't have all the dates laid out in the syllabus because having them too many places, I just think it's redundant. So if you click on that tab syllabus, it's got everything lined up in order. That to me seems like the easiest and most straightforward way to go about this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover, but are there any questions? Do you have any questions for me about our farm, about this class, the topics that we're going to cover, the social department? First of all, I love our social department. I really only recommend or endorse two things in this life. One, the Instapot. Have you ever cooked with an Instapot before? It's the most amazing thing in the world. I love it. Two is our social department. Great people, amazing classes. The people in this department that were 80 were marching for the rights of people like yesterday, just like the 20-year-olds were, or the 30-year-olds were, or the 40-year-olds were. When we say in Soch, everybody belongs, everybody does belong. So to me, diversity is key. Respect and kindness towards each other is key. And then I'll be here as a resource for you. I want you to do well. Like, my job isn't to trick you. My job is to help facilitate you to learn some important things. And do I think this stuff is important? It's survival. Okay. I'm sorry that your generation has to deal with this, but this isn't just quality of life anymore. This is flat out survival. So we are going to have some awesome learning that takes place this semester, and I'm excited about it. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd for school. I love it. For sociology, can't get enough. Talk about this stuff all the time. And of course, headed right out, to the farm to work when I'm done with this meeting. So I will be around, though, all summer long. Email, let me know if you ever need to meet. Any questions? Let me take a drink of coffee here, because I've been talking fast and furious about content assignments, my expectations, discussions, anything.
Okay, so I've been in an ag class that deals with food population. Can I use some resources from there?
Ag for, what did you say? Ag, sorry, say it again.
It's like ag, food, and populations with Dr. Gregory.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, I mean, yep. I don't want you to just use like for the paper, your textbook. I have some sources, some good journals, and as well, yeah. If you have previous knowledge or research about things, absolutely, yeah. Other questions, like sort of to the whole class. Anybody? Anything? And then I see here you have some private questions, so I can end the meeting. We could talk, whatever. Anything that you could think of? Okay. I know people are busy. I know a few people showed up. I appreciate it. I'm gonna post this to the YouTube channel. Yes, I have a YouTube channel, but it just started because, COVID. And so I had to have a place to post these. I'll be doing some lectures this summer, not many. Like in a couple, some of these are like a little bit dated by a year and a half or so. But if it's an important topic, if it's the paper, if it's touching base with the class, I'll let you know. Nothing will be necessarily in real time so that people can do their lives, right, and get to their own business. So any other questions?
Do you have any other scheduled live lectures that you're planning?
Not yet. When I announce them, though, it will not be with a day's notice. Really, this week kind of snuck up on me, and I knew that I wanted to do it sometime this week. But in the past, if I even plan it out, because it's summer, a week ahead of time, two or three people show, So, but I'm available all the time, and here's a resource for people too. Any other questions? Maybe I'll do a live stream from the farm someday, from the garden or something like that. Or while we're planting, I do a seed saving lecture that I could do live that shows people how to seed save and ideas about growing and the mycelial network in mushrooms and how important they are for planting. And anyway, my goal this summer is to expose you to a whole lot of interesting material that you may never have been exposed to when learning about the environment and human behavior. So again, keep in mind that your experiences are important and matter. Anything else? No? Okay. I'm going to end this recording. And we can talk in just a minute. Okay. Do you want to email me, or do you want to talk here afterwards? Oops, sorry, you're muted.
I'd rather just talk, because it's just going to be a lot of words.
Okay.
I'd rather just tell you directly.
Awesome. Do you want me to message you my number, or should we just stay on this?
Yeah, we
I
can
think if I do end the meeting for everybody and it ends, I'll restart it.
Okay.
And it'll be just us. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Hey, everybody. Here's my mantra. Be good people and do good things. All right. And we're going to have an awesome summer. So take care. Peace, everybody.